So I'm going to be talking about David's claims that mathematics is less biased and more useful subject than English. And his secondary claims were that 1, English teachers have the ability to choose the correct answers, opening the door for bias. 2, the skills that math teaches a student are more useful than that of English. And 3rd, that people with careers in mathematics are more successful than those who pursue English studies. So my response to his main claim is that English and mathematics are equally as important as subjects, not that one is necessarily better than the other. And I will support this claim by arguing that 1, there's not only bias in English, there are some biased instances in math as well. 2, the skills that English teaches are equally as useful. And 3, people with careers in English can have just as successful careers as mathematicians. Starting with his first claim that English teachers have the ability to choose the correct answers, opening the door for bias, he did not provide any factual evidence to support his claim, only personal experiences, which is still proof but doesn't hold up as well as actual data. He mentions there's no bias in math because there's always a definite right and wrong answer, which I would argue that there is some bias in math. Not every situation has the exact right and wrong answer. For example, when I used to tutor kids in math and English and science, I have run across that probably pretty popular question where you gotta choose the shape that's different. And there have been times where certain students chose different answers, and it's not to say that one's correct because there are different, some may choose because of shape, some may choose because of symmetry. So there can be more than one answer. Another example can stem from the way you perceive the mathematical definitions. So some textbooks might state a definition one way and others may state it differently. For example, the concept of natural numbers, which are those used for counting. There's no definite answer that says whether or not 0 is included in natural numbers. According to the Wolfram Math Resource, natural numbers can have 2 definitions. It refers to either a member of the set of positive integers 1, 2, 3, etc., or to a set of non-negative integers, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. There's no actual agreement as to whether or not to include 0 in the set of natural numbers. It's up to the textbook or teacher as to which definition to go by. And for his second claim that skills that math teaches are more useful than that of English. Actually, the skills that English teaches are equally as useful and may be beneficial to math. Learning how to write, use your language, think critically, read, and analyze are very important skills to learn. He stated that according to the University of the Incarnate World, the proliferation of statistics in everything ranging from business to government has induced many organizations to seek math majors. But according to the exact same website, they also stated that English has close readings of text through critical and theoretical frames, and the production of clear and logically argued writings are foundations that prepare for any profession. So the skills learned for both subjects can be beneficial to the other. And his third claim that people with careers in mathematics are more successful than those who pursue English studies, when in reality, people with careers in English can be equally successful as math careers. According to the University of the Incarnate World, commonly pursued careers for students with English degrees included business, writing, teaching, law, diplomatic, and social services. And according to pay scale, lawyers in the United States can receive an average of $75,000 a year, which is only $5,000 away from the average salary from a career of a mathematician. So there are careers that stem from English that stand close to those that stem from math. So in conclusion, neither English or math is of the better subject. They both have their benefits in the skills that you learn, and they can lead to a promising career. There's no valid reason why one has to be better than the other. Thank you.
All right, well, the topic is labeled very clearly, it's identified, and you do kind of have a preview of the advocate's argument, and then you've got a preview of your counterclaims to each of those arguments. That gets a little bit confusing, so basically I've gotten 6 preview supporting points before we actually get to one of those points. I think you could wait and tell us what your responses to those individual points are as you get to them, and you'd be okay. On the first point, where you're talking about bias and that there's sometimes isn't an answer. I thought that you had an interesting personal example yourself when you were tutoring the students. I assume that the shape thing means that you're teaching geometry, which is a mathematics science, and so sometimes there's inconsistency there. Or maybe it is some kind of natural analogy that people are looking at where they're having to make these comparisons about what's symmetrical or not symmetrical. So I can see a little bit of variability there. I did like the example that you came up with about the number 0. And while you were sitting there talking about it, the example that popped into my mind that would have been so easy to point to is one that you probably don't remember that well, but it was a big deal 14 years ago when everybody was squawking about when did the new millennium start. Did it start on January 1st, 2000 or January 1st, 2001? And there were plenty of people who were squawking, oh no, you people are all celebrating too early, and everybody else is going, no, 0 is a year, it counts too, that sort of thing. And that was a big stink, and if math had the answer for that, we would be in this particular situation. But obviously math could not answer that particular question. It required, because there's perception involved in that particular situation. So I think that would have been a fun illustration to make there. I'm sure there are others that would have come along well. The utility issue on the second point was perfectly fine. I like the fact that you're citing these advocate source on those points as well. I think you could probably get a little bit additional information on that, but you did create a very clear structure to follow. You explained your answers. I thought you did a very effective job on those things. Thank you.